Okay, so James,
Yep.
welcome to the Starcourt One-Liner Championship. I'm going to give two of the best lines from season 3.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to pick the winner.
All right.
No overthinking. Don't overthink it. Just pick the best one, the one that sings to you. Okay?
Best line.
The best line.
Okay.
All right, so round 1.
Yep.
It's for Nana versus You Can't Spell America Without Erica. Go.
Oh, I gotta go with It's for Nana because that whole scene was just gold. Hey, it's Nana. Yeah, we're shopping for Nana. It's like the like need to like on the spot come up with an excuse and then trying to come up with answers and like just the teenage brain just like yeah.
It's for Nana.
It's for Nana. We're shopping for Nana.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's for Nana too. That's my pick as well.
Yeah.
Okay, round 2.
Round 2.
I dump your ass
I dump your ass.
versus keep the door open 3 inches.
Oh my god. when she said I dump your ass because she said it like very like she didn't know what she was saying because obviously she's taking like, oh, okay, listen to Max and like you can just dump him, whatever. No, I dump your ass. It almost sounded like well, obviously she's never done it, so it's like she sounded like almost kind of like a someone who doesn't speak English as a first language trying to say it.
Yeah.
But I love Hopper. The 3 inches, and then that scene had obviously much more going on. So I'm gonna go with the 3 inches, like the grumpy old dad. Like 3 inches.
It's so funny because I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like round 3. If you die, I die versus never ending story duet.
Oh God, the duet because having just rewatched it, I'm like first thing that song. I love it. I love the Never Ending Story. Very fond memories of it. And yeah, that's it. We actually just listened to it in the car, the theme song from the actual theme song, and yeah, it's cheese, and you kind of feel the cringe for all his friends as he's in there.
Oh my gosh, that scene like in the car where they're all just kind of looking at each other like what is
happening here?
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love
please
it.
Please no, you're gonna say it now. Susie owns him. It's like she doesn't know. He's like, oh, this is like life or death. Like it's like world altering. She's like, yeah. Like not knowing that he's actually being not like giving exposition and like actually trying to like overthink. It's like, do you think she's just talking? He's like, no, seriously, but she doesn't care.
No.
Yeah. So never ending story.
Okay. Round 4. You're an idiot, Steve Harrington, versus Scoops Troops for Life. Listen, I'm gonna pick You're an Idiot, Steve Harrington, just because honestly, Robin's intro was in season 3, right?
Yes.
And she has so many like how many children are you friends with lines. You know what I mean?
Just
like,
how many
just
yeah.
Really iconic, sarcastic, just hit you right to the bone kind of lines. And I love it. I'm there for it.
You know what? I like the troops. It rhymes, but same thing. You're an idiot, Steve Harrington, because there's a lot more weight. It's a good line, but there's a lot more weight. And Robin, like you said, like had a bunch of them. Robin was a character that came in season 3, and Myhawk killed it, and obviously became a fan favorite very quickly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, love her. Okay, so the final bonus lightning round.
Yep.
Let's take For Nana, okay, versus Leave the Door Open 3 inches.
Ooh.
So if you were to take the 2 from round 1 and round 2, I think it was.
Yeah.
And compare them, which one would you pick?
Oh my God! See, that's a tough one because like I love both of them. Like, one of them is more like the quirkiness and the but the other one, you know what? I'm gonna go I'm gonna go with the 3 inches because I think in the grander scheme of Stranger Things, it had a lot more to it. Whereas a lot of people remember for Nana just because like it was such a crazy one-shot scene.
Yeah.
But the 3 inches thing had way more to it and a whole circle around and. So yeah.
Okay. So leave the door so leave the door open 3 inches. All right. So now let's take Never Ending Story versus You're an Idiot, Steve Harrington. Which of those 2 would you pick?
Oh, you're an idiot, Steve Harrington.
Okay.
Go with that.
Perfect.
I love the Never Ending Story, but again, that was like I
feel like it's a one and done.
It was a one and done cringe. What's going on? Everybody understand. And like where You're the Idiot, Steve Harrington was kind of the opening,
the theme of the season between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means for the final winner, is it going to be Leave the Door Open 3 inches or You're an Idiot, Steve Harrington? Oh, okay. I'm going to say You're an Idiot, Steve Harrington.
Okay, well,
I'm
then
gonna stick with that one.
I'm gonna go with the leave the door 3 inches
Really?
just to split.
Split it.
That way, yeah.
So why don't you guys comment on your favorite season 3 line out of the two? Leave the door open 3 inches, or you're an idiot, Steve Harrington. Vote for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to season 3 in general. Okay. So be honest, James. Did you think that Mike and Elle were cute or insufferable this season?
Season 3?
Yeah.
I think they were cute or insufferable.
I think there was
okay.
A
Wait,
it
depends. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a little bit of both because because right at the beginning when they're like going back to the keep the door 3 inches, you have them now. They're fully together. They're a couple, right? Like Elle's back from season 2, and all that. And they're very obviously a couple, and they're spending a lot of time together. In the first couple of episodes, I think even it was actually the first episode where they're just in her room, like making out and shit, and then hence the 3 inches apart. And then they're just being typical teenagers, which is they don't give a shit about anybody else, and they're being like, there's a scene I think we talked about it where, like, Hopper goes in to talk to them, and the whole 3 inches. And he like leans in and starts whispering into Elle's ear, and they start laughing. I was like, "Yo, man,
listen, as a parent, I'd be like, how fucking disrespectful.
Absolutely. And like, he's lucky. Hopper obviously,
he held it back.
Yeah, he did, but then he fucked around with him after. He's like, oh yeah, we gotta call you. Yeah, your Nana's in the hospital. What's wrong?
You have to go.
You have to go now.
But you know what I loved though is the scene where Joyce and Hopper were rehearsing the talk that they were going to have, right? And it made me realize how different moms and dads are, right? Because obviously, yes, Joyce is removed from the situation. Elle is not her daughter. Yes. Understood. But she's clearly had...
Yeah, she is a mother.
She's a mother of 2 boys. Yes. And so one can only assume she's been there, done that at some point.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just funny to see the difference. You take one situation and how each of them reacts to it. Yeah. So it just made me realize, oh, okay.
And it's funny because if you think about it, she's the
Some
mother.
Things don't change.
She's the mother of boys.
Yeah.
Right? And Hopper's, well, he's kind of like the de facto, obviously the adopter of that, but he was a father of a girl, and now he lost her, and now he has kind of
that second chance
daughter. Yeah. But he's the dad of a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so like, there's also that. It's not just how moms deal with things and how dads deal with it.
That's true.
It's
a girl dad
mom of sons versus dad of daughter. And I know that I'm a good buddy of mine with 2 daughters, and like the stereotypical like dad of daughters of girls. They are super protective. They so
yeah. Who do you think handled change better? Elle learning independence or Will losing childhood?
Oh damn.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think it's 2 different kinds of heartbreak.
Yes.
And it certainly appeared that learning independence, Elle learning independence, came a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're gaining something in that situation.
Yes.
Will is losing something.
He's losing that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's my take on it. I think handling it better is definitely Elle wins out of the 2.
Yeah.
But I also don't think it's necessarily the same kind of thing.
No. And I think it's funny because like it's almost for Will, it's almost a story with a story, because when we started Stranger Things, that's how we were introduced to these characters, right? Mm-hmm. They're kids, they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, they're kind of nerdy, they're doing all this stuff. And then these fantastical series of events befall them, and all this stuff happens. And as the seasons go on, they're getting older and they're changing, right? And so also now he's in season 3 and everything has changed around them, but also the game, everything's changing. Also, even the series itself, they're getting older and they're changing, and they're not the little kids anymore that they were, for the actors and everything. So
it's I felt that it just like every scene where Will feels it.
Yeah, like he's like, I have to give up like doing the kiddie stuff. Which again, when we're introducing these characters, that's how we saw them. But we're not going to be seeing them. They're not going to be coming in the season. I would be absolutely shocked if they're all sitting around playing Dungeons and Dragons, not mapping out a battle plan or something, like using it as a reference, like an actual just sit down and just play. Yeah, like that's done, right? Like they've gone past that. So
I don't know, have they? Look at season 4. Dustin and I know we're not talking specifically about season 4, but right now.
Oh, you mean they're playing the game with Eddie?
Playing the game with Eddie. They're still playing. It's
they're
a
still,
different. It's
yeah.
But they're still playing.
They were still, yeah. There was only 2 of them though. They lost everybody else. Like Lucas is done.
That's true.
You know, Lucas like they've gone and they're still holding on. And it's funny because in season 3, when you had that whole scene with Will,
can you remind me why the hell isn't Will in the?
Because he moved away. Oh. We're going to season 4 now. We're jumping ahead.
Okay. Sorry.
Will's gone, so he's not playing.
But he moved away.
But in season 3, Will tries to do like, hey, let's play a game, or he organizes the whole thing, and they're like, we got more important, things.
I know. That was just so sad.
Which it's true, like we all grow up and we all grow out of things that we loved as kids. You have that, nostalgia. You have a lot of that hold on, like I love this as a kid, before, but now you can't do that. I used to love playing with toys, and now I got to pay bills, so I got to go work instead.
Yeah.
And it's sad to let go of it because you remember all those fond memories of things. You're like, I would like to hold on to it, but things have to go, in the maturing direction.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? Let's revisit this question for season 4.
Oh, it's coming because season 4
is a whole other angle to it, right? So
does it ever?
Yeah. Did we have a Starcourt Mall growing up? And what store would you have lived in back then? So yes, obviously, 80s, 90s, it was all about the mall.
It was all about the mall.
All about the mall. Yeah. So, obviously not the same name, but the vibe is the same.
Yeah.
What store would I have lived in? It was definitely Kohl's bookstore.
Oh, yeah.
Did we have Claire's or it was more like, I think I'm an Ardennes.
Yeah. Probably.
Clothing, kind of like that was my go-to.
Yeah.
That was my vibe. Bookstore first though, and then clothing. What about you? Is there like a mall?
A mall store?
Yeah. Like, was the arcade in the mall?
I think a lot of malls, there's the mall, obviously, the close to where we live here, Fairview. But they didn't really have I don't remember. I don't think they actually had a store that was like, oh, I need to go there.
Okay, so you weren't like a mall kid then?
I would be in the mall.
Yeah.
But there was not like, I would just kind of like go to everywhere, all over.
Oh, okay.
Just wander around.
Okay. Yeah, that happened too.
Yeah.
More hang out McDonald's and
food court.
Buy some candy. Whatever.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There was the books. There was the bookstores that was big. No. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. HMV. HMV, which doesn't even. That's why, because I'm like there was a place I'd always go and check out in the mall, and it was HMV, which is no longer exists. It's gone.
That's so sad.
Yeah, especially this time of year, like coming into the holidays, they always had all types of crap. You're like, oh. When I got a random gift somebody, you go to HMV because they had crazy stuff all the time. Oh my god, they had some fun, unique stuff you wouldn't find.
But now you can't even go to a Toys R Us. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, nothing now.
Yeah. Who do you think had the best season 3 transformation?
Okay.
There's 3 options. Okay, so
L,
Max, or Steve.
Best transformation, and we're only talking about
season 3.
L, Max, or Steve? Because I'll be honest, all 3 of them have huge transformations, but within the confines of season 3, I guess it would have to be L because the others didn't really change that much.
Now we're talking season 4, it would definitely be a different answer.
Oh, absolutely. But season 3 alone, pretty much the same person through.
Although she does gain a best friend.
She does gain a best friend, and she deals, she's dealing a lot with her brother, but she doesn't really change much. Steve has already gone from douchebag, like popular kid, to like the fan favorite, like
the babysitter.
The babysitter. So he's already in that role, and
it's just expanding.
It's just expanding. He's killing it. Elle is the only one that really has a change, right?
A big change.
So
coming into her own, figuring out who she is, what she likes, who she is even.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I think for sure.
Elle.
Yeah. Which duo carried the season?
Okay.
Would it be Steve and Robin or Dustin and Erica?
Ooh, tough, but Steve and Robin.
Yeah, Steve and Robin for sure.
Because also like the 4 of them all pretty much all together, so that crew is.
It was pretty. That was an awesome adventure.
It was an
awesome adventure.
It got a little. I was like, oh, okay, this is
the scene where Steve and Robin are captured and are getting tortured by the Russians with the truth serum, and that whole scene is really good.
Yeah,
the comedic talent.
It was great.
So good.
They break out and they like hide out in a movie theater, and they go, Dustin and Erica Lee, they come back, like, where are they?
Yeah,
crashing out in the bathroom stall.
Loved it. That season was just so fun.
Yeah.
Which Hawkins teen would you actually be friends with? How about this?
They're all fun.
How about this? Which Hawkins character would you actually be friends with?
I'll be honest, I'm a super nerd, so all of them. Especially the 4. Like I can see myself being in.
Boys?
I would be in chilling in there, right? I would definitely be like in that group, like the fifth Ninja Turtle, which is like why you here, but like I'm just here because you guys are awesome. Because I see all of them have qualities that I'm like, oh, like that are in friends that I had when I grew up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, you're like this, and like so. I think that's a lot of people, especially when they first got introduced, they all have those qualities. You can kind of see like I could have been friends with these kids. Also like Steve. Okay, well when you first introduce Steve, douchebag, but then he grows. But Steve's also an awesome guy. I can definitely be friends with Steve.
I think I would be really good friends with Max.
Oh yeah, Max.
Yeah, she's cool, but doesn't give a shit at the same time.
Yep.
And I like that vibe.
Yep.
So, and I probably could have used a little more of that growing up. Do you think that Billy was ever redeemable, or was he already gone even before the possession of the Mind Flayer?
In a series where there's a lot of fantastical things, I think because having watched season 3, I remember the first time we first aired, we watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, like he sacrificed, he dies, right? But like I didn't really remember it being like a turn, like a they call it in wrestling a turn. It's a face turn. Like he's kind of a douchebag. He's always been a kind of a douchebag. Like doesn't evil. He's pretty much a prick. I don't want to say he's like full on heel, he's full on bad guy, but he's definitely a dick. Like he's like going after Lucas. Why? I don't know. I don't want to say anything, but like, that's a little weird.
And the way he talks to that poor kid at the swimming pool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like he's
it's like he's just a dick.
He's an ass. Yes. He's a huge ass, right? But then you also
never see the redemption at all.
No.
You never see an arc in.
No, there's no. That's it. There's no.
Nice.
There's no arc of his return, right? Like he's always kind of a dick, and then he got possessed, and he's a murderous dick, but he's being possessed, But like it kind of just pushed what was already there.
Yeah.
And you see in front of why he's kind of a dick, like his dad and the abuse he was taking. But there's no, like you said, there's no arc. In the end, he dies fighting the Mind Flayer, stopping it.
He's stopping him though.
Yeah, that's it.
So there's something about the end that made him, that when Al was like showing him, like, I see you, I see like where you were.
Something brought him out of that being possessed, and I gotta stop this. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't
enough. No.
Arc. And even the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, he just stopped him, but he's still a dick. And then rewatching it now, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what he did. I guess that was his or what they presented as his face turn / redemption. He did, and then obviously going into season 4, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. Like the whole Dear Billy. We'll get into that when we get into that. I'm like, okay, I have rewatching it. Like, okay, I get why people have a view, because if it's just like, oh, he's just a dick, and then all of a sudden, like, he did one good thing, he just kind of stopped a monster or tried to stop a monster and died doing it. I'm like, I mean, you're still an asshole most of the time.
Here's the thing. So, like, I think in season 2, it alluded to a lot, but there was no real scene about it. But in season 3, there was that scene with his dad. Okay?
Yep.
And when rewatching that, I was like, I felt such compassion for him.
Yeah.
For Billy, like it broke my heart. It's just like, oh man, yeah, you can really fuck your kids up.
Oh, you can.
And the thing is like, and then when you see like towards the end with Al and the visions that or not the visions, but like the things that she's seeing in his mind, the memories, you're like, wow, this
when he was
kid.
Happy. Yeah.
And not that long ago, doesn't take long, right? Yeah. Like he was like what?
Oh
8,
God, when
9?
When he's on the beach there.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with everything that you said. There wasn't enough of a redemption arc like within the season.
No,
but I couldn't help but feel like or think what he could have been. If he survived. Had he survived.
Well, that's it. Like that, he just turned, but he died right after, right?
Yeah. There was no
heroic turn sacrifice, but like there was no. What could he have been?
Yeah.
Could he have had this huge positive face turn and heroic return? Maybe, like we saw with Steve, where Steve was a douchebag, less of a douchebag than
absolutely
Billy,
less,
right?
not comparable.
I mean, they even have those two going to toe, and you're like, oh, this guy's a much bigger dick than Steve ever was. So could he? They definitely could have. They could have written it off. Like you could do that, but
also, like, could you imagine? Like, could you picture Billy being a babysitter too?
No. Really? But like, if it, what?
How much of a redemption at the end? I don't know.
But now, like thinking about it, like okay, like fantasy booking, looking at like if he had survived somehow, or they had him back. Imagine having Billy as part of the team, right? Like, yeah, he's not gonna be he would be the baby. It's like, yeah, I'm not watching all that shit, but having somebody that I don't want to say fearless, but he's definitely somebody you would, if you want to go down, you're gonna go and throw hands with somebody or do something. Like I would definitely want Billy on my side. If he's a member, if he's on your squad, he's part of your team, he's your friend. Like I would definitely want him there because I know he ain't gonna like. I wouldn't see him turning tail and running. Like he'd go down swinging as he did. So it's kind of like now thinking about that, like that would have been cool. I would have liked to see that, but obviously he didn't make it out of it. But so it could have been.
But also, if you think about it, and I know we're jumping into season 4 a little bit, because if you think about season 4,
yes,
and what happens, like Will was in the Upside Down, right?
Yeah,
and he's still connected to this entity,
the Mind Flayer.
Billy is very clearly possessed by this entity.
Yep.
Had he survived at the end of season 3 and moved on to season 4 to help or to be of assistance in any way, shape, or form, how would that have played out? And like knowing about Will and all that stuff. Anyways, it would have been an interesting.
Yeah.
But then would it have been too much? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But one thing now, thinking about this is cool because this conversation you're like start like, oh, I'll think about this, and I'm sure if you can go and like Wikipedia or Google it, and there's already, because it's been years, right? But something I'm thinking. So the Mind Flayer, he was the first possession, right? Like it's a cloud of dust, and it first starts off with like rats and others driving them nuts because it's trying to get for biomatter to create a new body, and slowly going up, from animals to people. And Billy's like the first human that really gets like literally possessed. But I think it's something different with him, right? Because then he starts going after everybody else and having all 8 bodies, bringing them all in there, and they're getting taken over. All of those bodies, all those humans, he brought them into the Mind Flayer so it can grow its army, grow its mass, grow its mind, zombies, whatever.
Yeah.
But also turn inevitably, like they all at the end when they all start like just melting and popping.
Yes, that's gross.
Yeah. But Billy didn't.
It was like he was.
So there's something different because like this thing that looks at human beings like they're insignificant. Like there's something that you look in the Mind Flayer, like it sees them as lesser beings. Like they're all that. They're just there to serve me.
Yep.
So it's not like they were like, oh, I like Billy, I'm gonna keep him around. Like there's a reason he didn't turn to goo. In fact, if you thought about it, like if it did this just like that, and they all just start melting and forming the body, why wasn't he part of that conglomerate?
So are you saying that maybe there's something in him evil in Billy that was recognized by this?
Oh, I think I don't know what it is, but I think there's obviously a reason why he didn't become, because he stops the thing, right? Like it's tentacles and he stops it from killing Max. But like if you look at it theoretically, he would have been part of that body. He wouldn't have been there to protect her. So something, either I don't know why it wouldn't have just turned him into goo and made it part of his body.
True.
Why didn't it?
That's true.
Right? Like is there something in there? Was there something keeping him apart?
I would have said, that's a good question.
But like they never, like in theory, all those other bodies, he brought them all. That he would have just been part of the big bubbly mess that turned into a spider monster inside them all. But he wasn't. He would have been there to protect his sister if he had turned into that. So like maybe was that will to stick around,
Huh, interesting. True. I didn't think of it that way. Last question.
Yep.
Who do you think is the real MVP of season 3? Let's take Elle out because Elle's a given. She's up there.
Yeah.
I think it's Joyce.
Season 3's Joyce?
Season 3's Joyce. She turned the keys. Hopper couldn't get back. She turned the keys to close the gate.
That's true.
I think it's Joyce.
That is true. There was a lot going on with the whole Russian stuff.
There was a lot going on.
Right, because like my first thing was I was just like, okay, I was just saying like, oh, I'm trying to think between that quartet of Steve, Robin, Dustin, and Erica, because they're the ones who found it, right? And they got it in there. But then they all kind of come back together and they reassemble. The Avengers get back together in the mall. But then Murray and Hopper and Joyce all go to like, okay, we got to turn this off because if we can close it, and then Elle can do her thing. But like they kind of need to do both things. So yeah, I was gonna go with like Steve and I was a crew, and I was like, leading Steve. Just because he got the shit beat out of him. he put up a lot. But yeah, Joyce definitely.
Like if that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like obviously Elle, yes. Elle's gonna lead no matter what.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, powers win. But for somebody with no powers, the fearlessness that Joyce had, the like nobody's gonna fuck with me or my kids, like I'm just doing the hard work. I say Joyce, man, hands down.
You know what, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I can definitely.
And then by default Hopper.
Yeah.
Hopper's
the brute force MVP.
And he apparently gave his life in season 3.
Well, yeah, that's it. Like
right?
they had that whole fake out Which rewatching, we're like, did they make us wait for the entire season to find out that he's not? And then they're like, oh, well, they kind of
very early in season 4.
They're the Russian gulag, and like, oh, it's the American. They don't tell or see who it is. But say there's an American. So you're like, okay, well, I guess that must be him. It's not,
Yeah.
Could have been they could have also just been faking us out, but no, it was Hopper, so we know. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's a wrap on season 3.
That's a wrap on season 3.
That's
One left
wrap.
before
and now we're going for season 4.
Season 4.
Season 4.